It's been almost 100 years since women were able to vote in British Columbia. And there were lots of reasons why they shouldn't. Women, you see, were too pure for the corrupt world of party politics, and voting would lead to divorce. And the opinion that it is unwise to risk the good we already have for the evil which may occur gave women who wanted their voices heard cause to yell very loudly. And yell they did. Women in British Columbia got to vote for the first time on April 5th, 1917. Now, nearly 5 generations later, we've got the vote, yes, but have we got the voice?
My view of it is this, is women are half the population. So half the population should be heard. And I go to meetings every day, back to back, all day, and for many of them, I am the only woman in the room. And the reason I do these meetings is because eventually I looked around and I went, you know what? Half of the population isn't talking to me. I need to go out and find a room, a table, a group where women will have an opportunity to talk to me.
Premier Clark has been making her rounds in communities across the province, talking to small groups of female leaders, like this gathering at the Port Theatre in Nanaimo recently. Whether no men or TV cameras allowed inside is politically correct or not is arguably irrelevant. There's no question, though, that these ladies have something unique to bring to the conversation.
We think differently than men do, and I think that we see things that men often miss or that they aren't aware of, because our lives are quite different from birth to death. We go through different experiences, we have a different frame of reference, and I think it's really important that the country is informed through both frames of reference.
More and more businesswomen are starting to be the leaders in driving the economy. I mean, they're starting more businesses than men are, frankly. So they have the energy, they have the ideas, they have the creativity. So that's a component we need to listen to.
But the we who are listening are still mostly men. There are 85 MLAs in British Columbia. 26 of those are women. That's just a hair above 30%. Maybe those numbers are low because it's a tough gig for women in what has traditionally been a man's world.
You know, when a man is strong and self-assured and knows who he is, he's considered to be a strong leader or a visionary. And when a woman is like that, she's often called something else.
U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was asked recently what fashion designer she prefers. She turned the table on the moderator and asked him if he'd ask a man that question. He said probably not.
There's a lot of women involved in local politics, but the number really drops off when you get to provincial. And I think part of that's personal. If you're looking after your aging parent or your kids are going to school or whatever, you don't have time to travel necessarily to Victoria or Ottawa and do those kinds of things. It's also not a very family-friendly business. It's very negative. I don't think women are very attracted to that lots of times. So I think there are some kind of barriers in the way of women doing it. But boy, women really need to step up.
Women have to make the change. Certainly there are lots of men. I'm certainly proud of the men in my party and my caucus who've taken leadership roles on the issue. But women are really going to have to step up to the plate. And in doing so, not just become men in politics, but to be women in politics and to do things differently and to make it work better.
So yes, women have been able to vote for nearly 100 years now, but we're still a long way from having a representational voice at the political table. In Nanaimo, I'm Kate Bergen.